Herein, the latest updates on the biggest money lending deal in Venice. If you did not already know, the well-known Antonio has made a deal with Shylock for his dear friend Bassanio. Bassanio wants to marry Portia, who's in Belmont, and she's ready to have a husband with the demand of the will of her dead father. Bassanio wants to go and see her and win her over, but does not have the money. He wants to borrow it, knowing Antonio always has some. Unfortunately, Antonio's money is tied up in his ships, so he does not have the money to give to Bassanio. He tells Bassanio to go borrow it from someone on behalf of himself, as they will be more likely to give it to him. Bassanio finds Shylock without knowing there is a history between him and Antonio. Tension is high, with Antonio being very anti-Semitic, but they eventually settle on a bond. 3,000 ducats over 3 months, and if not, 1 pound of Antonio's flesh from wherever Shylock chooses. Fast forward some time, and all of Antonio's ships have sunk, leaving him without any merchants or any money to pay Shylock back. The court trial is here, and everybody is sitting on the edge of their seat. There was much back and forth, but the verdict ended up being Antonio's innocence. Shylock was very reluctant that a bond is a bond and he needs his flesh, but Dr. Balthazar stated that the bond only mentioned taking flesh, not a drop of blood. If he broke this bond, he would be killed, and he did not want that. For this reason, Antonio is safe, but for Venice, this can mean some things. The original worry before the loopholes found was that nobody would trust lenders in Venice because their bonds can be broken. This can still be a worry, but since the bond was broken in a lawful way, trading in Venice should continue on as normal. We're live on scene with
Bassanio.
Welcome, Bassanio. We're so grateful you're able to join us.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Okay, all right, we're gonna get right into it. Bassanio, what is your relationship with Antonio?
Antonio is probably my closest friend. He's the person that I love most in the world. He's always been there for me, supported me, given me money and support when I needed it. We have a long history of business and friendship.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, there are rumors going around that the debt Antonio owned was yours. Can you give us some insight on that?
So, technically, Antonio being on trial was my fault. I needed money to travel from Venice to Belmont to woo my now wife, Portia. And Antonio covered for me, taking out a loan in his name and giving me the money. So when I failed to pay him back, he failed to pay Shylock back. You can see how the whole thing kind of
I sure can. So this makes the whole thing really is your fault. How did you feel when your friend was sentenced to death for your mistakes?
I felt awful, absolutely awful. You saw me in there begging, bribing, pleading for my friend's life. I offered 2 times, 3 times, 10 times more money than the original bond, but Shylock wanted flesh, so I offered my own. Antonio knows that I would give my life, my wife, and my whole world for him. When I heard about his sentence, I rushed here from Belmont to be with Antonio. I don't think I would survive with the guilt of knowing that his death was my fault.
Yeah. So, what was your reaction to the last-second saving grace experienced in court today?
The moment that the knife was brought up to Antonio's chest, the thought of having to watch my friend being carved out, I felt more helpless than I ever had before. It was awful. I nearly cried tears of joy when Balthazar found that loophole. The thought of having to say goodbye to Antonio felt like a knife in my own chest, and the immense relief and gratitude I feel now is indescribable.
Okay. But I do have a question. Dr. Balthazar did in fact save your friend, but if he was the one who saved your friend, why were you very reluctant to give up your ring?
Well, it might seem silly, but Portia gave it to me as a symbol of her love and commitment. And I promised that when I went away to save Antonio, I wouldn't give it to anyone and I would wear it. So it's a token of her love, it's a token of the love that we feel for each other and our commitment to each other. So when I wear it, I'm reciprocating that message to her. Mm-hmm. So I was extremely reluctant to give it up, obviously, but a ring as a thanks for saving my friend's life seems a small price to pay, and having to work through this with Portia, I think I could do that.
Okay. Well, I hope you and Portia can stay together because you seem like a very great couple. But all things considered, would you ask for Antonio for money again?
All things considered, I don't think I would do what I did. Through this process, I've come to realize that friendship is the most valuable thing in my life, and I love Antonio more than anything else. I love Portia, I love the life that I lead, but I would willingly give it all up for my greatest friend.
That's amazing. Okay, so that's all we have today, folks. We hope this update cleared some things up, and make sure to let us know how you feel about the outcome. Many are relieved, though, and that's all that matters. If you're Team Shylock, we'll be sure to update you and do a follow-up interview with him.